Alright guys, welcome back. This is kind of a unique video for the channel. This is a what I eat in the day video, but more like spend the day with me, a day in the life kind of vibes. But it's a day in which I don't have any responsibilities, I don't have any work to do, I can just live my best life. So you're going to share that with me today. It all starts really with a wander in the garden when I've just woken up. It's grabbing a cucumber straight off the plant, maybe some tomatoes, munching them. And that's the beauty of growing food for me. It's being able to reap the benefits of all that hard work and that earlier investment of sowing the seeds. Just being able to come out first thing in the morning and pick some fresh produce is beautiful. And I always do that first thing just to have a look around the garden to see how everything's looking. And then I'll start with my breakfast. And I keep it quite humble. Creamy porridge is my go-to. I just make my porridge with organic oats and a pinch of salt and some boiling water and let it bubble away very slowly until it's creamy and delicious. But the thing is, I go to town with my toppings. I add things like macadamia nut butter, really good quality dark chocolate, hemp seeds for all the strength and the protein that they give me, cacao nibs, which are so good for your heart. I also add things like goji berries. Of course, I've got to add my blueberries. I love blueberries so much and I swear by them. To finish off my porridge, I sprinkle over some cinnamon and that's it. That's the porridge with 1,000 toppings done. I'll enjoy it in the garden with a lovely cup of water. So what I tend to do before I head to the gym is have a coffee. So on a Saturday, on the perfect day, I'll go to the gym mid-morning. That's when I feel most alive, but most days in the weeks I'm having to like fit gym in the evenings. But before I go, I'll have a coffee just to wake myself up. I love the artistry of coffee. I love the story behind beans. Right now I've got some beautiful coffee beans that were roasted in a little town near my house. And I've been trying to perfect my latte art. It's not going too well, but I attempt to give it a go. And I use a non-dairy milk. I choose to use one that doesn't have any oils or gums or stabilizers or anything like that in it. It's just nuts and oats actually and water and sea salt. But it froths up really well and I can make kind of a good latte art from time to time. All right, and then it's time to hit the gym. Exercise is so important for my mind that I use it as a tool just to help me get through life. I feel like my mind is like a messy filing cabinet when I haven't been to the gym or exercised. Now, when I go, everything's organized and the stress melts away. So it's a real important part of my life. Oh, so welcome to my torture chamber. I actually gave you a whole tour of this gym that my dad and I made in the garage. Obviously living so rurally, it's hard to get to a gym, but this is my happy place. But you've been asking me for a long time of kind of workouts that I do, so I'll show you what I do now. My goal is not to get big, it's not to get massive, it's to be fit and strong. I want to be able to run long distances. I want to be amazing at boxing. I want to be able to lift a considerable amount of weights, but I just want to be fit and healthy. So today, what I'm going to do first is start off with my usual warm-up. It consists of 3 minutes of boxing at high tempo, and then I use the battle ropes, which is a killer. And what I do on the battle ropes is 8 rounds of 20 seconds and then 10 seconds rest in between each 20. And for that 20 seconds, I give it all and I alternate between different techniques of using the battle ropes. That will get my shoulders warm, it'll get my body ready to work out. And after it, you're feeling the heat, you're feeling sweaty, and you just feel great. And that's when I kickstart the rest of my workout. All right, so now it's into pull-ups. I really try and do as much body weight as I can. So pull-ups and dips alternating between the 2-3 sets until failure on each set. And then we'll go into the more heavier strength exercises. So for my main exercises today, I am going to be doing something kind of crazy. It may sound a lot but this will get me in and out as fast as I can really, and I'll feel great after it. So we're gonna start off with 30 burpees. I know that sounds a lot, but what I do is break it down. You don't have to do 30 in a row. I do 10, have a little break, 10, have a break, and 10. And then I'll go into the main rounds of this workout. I'm gonna be doing 3 rounds in total, and then each one is 9 dumbbell deadlifts. So we're gonna be using the dumbbells as you would a bar, and just slowly coming up, using the legs, driving up through your feet. And then I'll do 9 front squats, again with the dumbbells. This is all a good, nice dumbbell workout, minimal equipment, getting really low on the squat, and just taking your time and making sure I'm using really good form. And then finally, I'll do 9 shoulder presses with the same dumbbells. This is like a shoulder to overhead, so you can use a bit of your legs. You don't want to be jerking too much, but use to drive through your legs because they're quite heavy weights. I'll do those 3 things 3 times, and then to finish off, believe it or not, another 30 burpees, and that's when I am done. I am finished. That is my workout complete. I am going to go on a hike up the mountain after dinner tonight, where I'll be picking some bilberries, which will be beautiful. So that's another little workout. Oh, that was a great workout, guys. But I think it's important for me just to touch on one thing that's on my mind about this whole video today. Please take this with a pinch of salt. Now, I don't have responsibilities like kids or an office job where I need to be somewhere at a particular time each day. I've realized that I am quite a sensitive person, and if outside influences come into my life, I get affected by them. Whether that's not having a structure, that will really throw me off and make me feel bad and stress me out, because I'm realizing I've got loads of stuff to do, and if I have had a bad night's sleep, I'll get down. So I need to do these quite extreme things to make myself feel good. Now, they may not be extreme to everyone, but I understand that not everyone has the luxury of what I have, which is a bit more freedom to live my life, I guess. So me growing my food, me spending time in nature, me going to the gym and cooking nourishing foods all the time, it's things that I have to do for me to feel good and to have a good effect on the world. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be the best version of myself and create inspirational content so that you guys, you could just take a pinch of what I do and incorporate it into your life, and you will reap the benefits off the back of it. So I'm hoping that's what this content does. It makes me feel so good that I'm so ready for the week coming. I don't drink alcohol, I don't go on nights out, and this is what I get off on really, especially when the sun is out. And something that I love to do after a big workout is nourish the body. When you've exercised and you've done a great workout, you don't want to be eating crappy food, you want to be eating really good stuff. I am like a kid in a sweet shop. All of these amazing tomatoes. We've got some lovely varieties. And then I've got my cucumber vines. I've picked cucumbers so much now. So I think for lunch, we'll make a lovely summer salad inspired by these lovely ingredients, and it'll be delicious, I think. So for this lovely salad, so simple, but it's something that I've been eating a lot recently. I eat a lot of beans, if I'm honest. They work for me. Beans aren't for everyone, but they really suit me and I love them. What I'm gonna do is just simply chop up my cucumber into quite big chunky chunks, and my tomatoes as well. I'm gonna fold those through the butter beans that I've cooked. These are butter beans that I soaked and cooked for about an hour and a half, and you just save money doing it that way and they taste way better. I'm also gonna chop through some olives. I'll add pumpkin seeds and pine nuts. I'll add some lemon juice and lemon zest, a load of fresh herbs from my garden. I'm gonna pick some parsley, some chives, some basil, and some nasturtium. And realised this would be lovely with some fresh mint too. But what I'm thinking is herbs are so underrated, really. You know, having fresh herbs growing in the garden is the ultimate, but if you have dried herbs in your spice drawer, adding them into a dish to liven it up, to add some aromatics is so important. I couldn't live with herbs, probably my #1 thing for adding flavour to food. Let's get some mint and we'll add the rest of the ingredients. They'll go into the bowl with some delicious homegrown crushed garlic, some nutritional yeast for that nutty flavour, a little bit of olive oil and some white wine vinegar. I'll then season it up with some sea salt and pepper, and that's the salad done. Delicious. And of course, my little purple rainbow chilies. These are spicy, believe it or not. They look so innocent, but they are fiery. Oh, this looks like summer in a bowl. I'm gonna give this a good mix up. I can't wait to eat this. And that is it. You just want to make sure you've got enough of everything running through those beans. You want a mouthful of pretty much each thing when you're eating it. I serve this with some of my homegrown rocket on the plate and also some rye bread or any sourdough or something like that. It's delicious. And the good thing about this salad, it lasts 3 to 4 days in a sealed container in the fridge. So it's good meal prep. It's got all of those vitamins and minerals in those beans and all that fresh veg that I know my body will really need, especially, you know, after workouts and training. And there we go, that's it. So this is something I would make at the start of the week and I just eat it over the next couple of days. And my mate Jack's helping me out in the garden today. Jack, come and grab a bowl. Here you go, mate. Tuck in, help yourself. Vibrant, fresh. Well, fresh as it can get. Just pick those ingredients. And the beans are so creamy when you cook them from scratch at home. Try not to buy the canned ones. You save so much money buying them in bulk, dried, and just soaking them and cooking them. All right, so as I mentioned, I got my lovely mate Jack visiting all the way from the neighbouring country, England. And he's helping decorate this sort of whiskey barrel pond area in the garden that needed a bit of tender love and care. I think the only flower that I had growing here was this guardiola, as I call it, or gladiola plant that I put a bulb in the ground in winter time. So Jack's brought along some beautiful little flowers and some medicinal ones too. What have we got here?
We've got echinacea, different colours, achillea, which people know as
I
yarrow,
love achillea.
lavender, scabious. We've got ferns at the back as well, because if you like Jurassic Park, you love ferns. And I think it just has that actual like natural woodland look.
Yeah.
So this is like this is attracting all the beneficial wildlife. So this is a haven for them.
Yeah.
And again with the flowers, attracting butterflies, attracting bees.
I've seen loads of birds come in here and have a little drink out of the pond. So I know even though it's tiny, it's nice to see that it's attracting some of the wildlife to come here. So I haven't seen any frogs yet, which is kind of a good thing because I'm so scared of frogs. But
your dad said he saw a massive toad today.
Yeah, I know. I would have ran a mile if I saw it. What can I help with then? Because I haven't got my hands dirty today.
get stuck in.
So we're going to plant this one in, yep.
Yeah, just raw dogging some manure.
So if you actually want Jack to come and help you with your garden, set up a vegetable garden, edible landscape of beautifulness, Jack's the man. Just send him an email. I'll pop his email beneath this video. I may even turn up with him because I love being in the garden so much. And we make a good team. All right guys, before I get on with our dinner and before we go on a hike up the mountain, I've got to light the fire, but also want to do a little shout out. I did a talk at a festival over the weekend and was greeted by a lovely fan of the channel, the lovely Gaia. She made me this. Look at that, that is so beautiful. So thank you Gaia for your support. This meant so much to me and it's so beautiful. She's drawn the chickens, she's drawn herself and me with the carrots. And she doesn't watch cartoons, she watches the channel, so thank you. Right, I'm gonna make a fire now and then start making some dinner for me and the boys. So for dinner, before we go up on this hike, I am gonna see how many ingredients from my garden I can get into a stew, a quinoa stew, full of depth, full of flavor, full of herbs and spices. It's gonna be delicious. And with the homegrown veg, should taste fresh and spectacular. Perfect for a long day and pre-fuel before going up the hill, the steep hill. So I think I'm gonna get some spring onions. I've got some lovely spring onions here. Actually, this will be the nice base to this dish. Oh, they are some stunning little scallions. Actually, they're not even little, they're big and juicy. Really amazing, so fresh, and you can use the whole thing. Look at that. So that's number one ingredient going into the basket. I'm gonna get some garlic that I harvested recently. A carrot, which will be exciting because I don't know which color it's gonna be. Oh, jeepers, guys. That was hard work. It's a long, skinny one. You be the judge, I don't know. Do you like long, skinny ones? You tell me. Some celery, which will add real depth to this dish. A couple of tomatoes, again, as they blister in the bottom of the pan, they're gonna get really rich. I'll also add some heat. I'll add a little chili of mine, some tantalizing thyme for that aromatic flavor, a bay leaf or two, and then we'll harvest some of my favorite, some courgettes and some French beans, the first of this year's harvest. And then to stir through the dish at the very end, I'll pick some chard, cavolo nero and basil, some leafy greens and fragrance that work perfectly added to dishes at the very end. All right, so I count 14, and there's still so many more things I could get into this, but I'll be picking all day. But this is great to feel the rewards of a long growing season so far. Started very early, sowing my seeds in January. I'm gonna get this chopped up. There's no recipe for this, guys. Just chopping up the base, sauteing that off and gradually adding each ingredient based off how quickly they cook. I will be adding things like courgette and the beans towards the end because I don't want to overcook those, as well as the kales and the chard and the basil. But I'll be also stirring in some quinoa and some spices like smoked paprika as well. All right, now that I've added the stock, I'm gonna add the quinoa, a great source of protein and something I rely on all the time to eat actually. And it's really nice in stews. It's just important just to add just enough. If you add too much, then it makes the stew basically not a stew, because it absorbs so much water. It fluffs up so nicely. So just add less than you think to add. So now that my stew is bubbling away and I can see that quinoa just cooking, you can see that little strand come off. My old head chef would tell me when you see that strand break away, quinoa is almost done. So I'm going to cut this into quite sizable chunks actually, because I like a bit of a bite with my courgette. Same with the beans. And once it's nearly cooked, we'll throw those in. And also I'll finally shred up the greens, plus the onion tops and the carrot tops. They're going to be great garnishes. Look at that freshness. 15 ingredients from my garden inside here, just picked. That's got to be good for my body. Before serving, I sprinkle in some of the fresh basil and then serve up with some chopped pistachio nuts and a little of tahini, because I need tahini on everything. That is there. So just as the greens and the courgettes are cooked, literally just when they're cooked, is when you serve. You don't want to overcook your greens, especially when you spend all this time growing them. This is great. Oh, that looks great. It's my garden on a plate. Look at me rhyming. And it's a shame to waste some of these lovely carrot tops. They make the perfect garnish. Just dotted around. They actually have a really nice herbaceous flavour too. Oh, yes, this is what I need. There he goes. I'm so happy with this. I'm proud of myself. 15 ingredients from my garden. Just nourishing and warming. Something my nan would have made for me for sure. Delicious, absolutely delicious. So, post stew, evening hike up the mountain. Such a stunning day. It's really hot, so this could be quite tough. But we got the stew in our bellies to fuel us. And I've brought my foraging bag just in case I find some really lovely treats on the mountain. Oh, Jack's found something.
What I've been looking for, this is a Welsh delicacy.
What is that?
Well, these are a Welsh delicacy. Chocolate covered peanuts.
Chocolate covered peanuts? You eating them? I think that's sheep's poo, mate.
One for the road.
Oh. Oh yeah, here, you've got some. Look at this, a little snack for the road. Perfect timing, there's loads. So these are basically like blueberries. They're called bilberries and they're so sweet. They taste exactly like blueberries to me, maybe a little bit tartar, and they're found at like high altitude points. And apparently British pilots in World War II would eat bilberry jam because they believed it would give them better eyesight when they're flying in the sky. So if it's good enough for them heroes, it's good enough for me. I'm gonna pick a load of these. They'll be my snack to the top, but also if I can savour any, I'll take them home and they'll be on my porridges and everything like that for days to come. So just like blueberries, they're full of antioxidants and they've got such a deep blue colour. It kind of just screams that they're good for you. I don't want to climb them out and I just want to pick these berries all day. It's so nice. It feels very rewarding and satisfying. So this is another addition to the what I eat in a day. Free food, forage bilberries, absolutely incredible. All right guys, we spent way too much time picking bilberries. Well, I did, if I'm honest. I just felt like it was such a bounty, I didn't want to leave any. And we're meeting the sheep, so we're gonna meet the sheep and then we're gonna head back to the car. We will hike that another time. Actually, we did do it once. We did it a while ago when Tom's mum cooked with us. We took noodles up to the top. It was sensational. So you can see us do it. We promise we have done it. We'll say hello to the Welsh sheep and then we'll get back to the car. And then I think post half hike, and also I did gym this morning, I'll make a little nutritious smoothie to finish the day when we get home. That's hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, in sheep wash.
G'day, Dev. What's your number?
That was a bit of a long day. I've got a green protein shake here, hemp protein powder, things like spirulina, ashwagandha, maca, and a load of other super powerful magical ingredients I rely upon. I want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope it inspires you to do some of the things I mentioned. Just take a pinch of it and hopefully it'll add some benefits to your life. Anyway guys, I'll see you soon with another video in the future. Please support the channel by commenting and sharing and subscribing and liking and all that stuff. It means the world. I'll catch you soon. I'm off to bed.